Okay, that's good. We're all having a good time in this place that from the outside looks like a refugee camp. And from the inside looks like Jimmy Buffett's rape den. Who decorated this place? Holy crap. This is one sexy shed, people. I can smoke in here, right? Can I have a cigarette from everyone? Does everyone have a cigarette?
No.
Do you want a cigarette? Thanks. This isn't even part of my set. This is just... Do you know you're not allowed to like smoke inside anywhere? Like this is pretty fucking cool right now. Feel like Frank Sinatra and look like Jason Priestley. So, nothing is working out for me so far. Alright, jokes. What are we doing here? Jokes. Okay. So I got this friend. He came up to me the other day and he goes, "Hey buddy, not everything's a race." And I told him, "Hey buddy, I already knew that. First." Same guy always comes up to me and he says stuff like, "Oh boy, I really had one of those days," or "Oh boy, it was one of those days." I think at a certain point, it stops being the day's fault, and you're just one of those people. Get used to it. Oh man. I went to the doctor recently, and I had an Asian doctor. You know, don't get too many of them. Have you ever tried to guess an Asian person's ethnicity but gotten it wrong? Don't do it. They come at you with all sorts of stereotypes you didn't even know existed. They're like, "No, I'm not from China. I do not sleep all day and steal baby out of house." Didn't know they did that. "No, I'm not from Cambodia. I do not eat a whole turtle out of shell." I have to start watching more Travel Channel, I guess. That would be good to know. But it's okay, guys. I'm allowed to make these jokes. You want to know why? It's because I'm Jewish. That's how it works in this country, okay? We qualify our racism. I did a show recently, and we had a comedian. He asked the audience. He said, "Oh, hey, are there any Jews in the audience?" And it was silent, just like that. But I knew there were Jews in this audience. We can just tell. And so I'm sitting there trying to figure it out, like, why is nobody, including me, saying anything? And I think that that's just like a trait of the Jews left over from the Holocaust era. Like, are there any Jews in here, y'all? And there's more in the attic. Not supposed to tell them about the Jews in the attic. That's like rule number 1 of the Holocaust. Don't tell them about Jews in the attic. That got really real quick, didn't it? I'm like talking about real, no one's about writing rules of the Holocaust. Okay, guys. I also like how in my mind, like, the Germans speak English just with a German accent, and everybody just plays along and just goes, "Sure!" That's totally believable. This is a great segue, first of all. I was going to a train station the other day, and I see this Amish couple walking past an escalator, and just looking at it, longingly, like the way an Orthodox Jew eyeballs a bacon cheeseburger, just eyeing every step as it goes by, just going, "Just once, I want to stand still, but be at the top of something. Why can't I have that, Amish God?" But like, here's my question. How did they get through the automatic doors? Fucking cheaters. And what are they doing in the train station anyway, waiting for one of those, like, hand pump carts?
"Oh, don't worry, Mabel. If we keep up this pace, we'll be in Tennessee by Tuesday. We can throw rocks at the Mennonites."
I don't know what Amish people do. I was on my way to Philly the other day because every once in a while I like to remind myself what poverty looks like. I was driving up there and I see a billboard and it has an elderly black gentleman on it and it says, "This is James. He's 70 years old. He just learned how to read." And that's all. Who paid for this ad? Was it just James trying to get the word out there? Oh, hey, I always wondered what those said. I also don't think that a text-based campaign is the best way to fight illiteracy, but, you know, who am I? I'm not paying for billboards. But here's the thing. This man was 70 years old. That means that he was illiterate during segregation. They had some important signs back then. How long do you think it took before he was just like, "Look guys, I just started to avoid all water fountains with words on them, not going anywhere near that." And I like to think that this man unknowingly started the civil rights movement. You know? Like one day he just walked into a building and some other people saw him and they were like, "Oh my God, did you see that guy? He just walked by that whites only sign like he didn't even understand it. We need to rise up." Thank you, James. So I got to that weird part of the internet the other day where you're just like watching 8-year-old girls sing Katy Perry songs into their webcams and like thinking about like buying a bunch of lighters to like sell at music festivals. I don't know, just like bulk lighters. And then I stumbled upon and found out that the KKK has a weekly internet talk show. You figure eventually they run out of shit to talk about. Like, "Hey guys, tune in next week, see if we still hate blacks and Jews." We do. So like I watched a little bit of one of these episodes, of which they have done 451 episodes of. That is 9 years, folks. That is longer than Seinfeld was on the air, and that's a show about nothing. But like, who is a fan of this show? Like, who's sitting there with their friends, they're going, "Yeah, man, the first 4 or 5 seasons were great. Then they kind of jumped the shark, they got a black friend, just to add some tension. I don't know how I felt about it, you know?" But like, what's that show about? Do they have like, you know, like friendly, racist laundry tips? Like, you know, everybody, when you're doing your laundry, make sure you separate your whites from your coloreds. So I got 9 minutes into this episode, and they just did a bunch of talk about like, they didn't mention race once. I was really disappointed. They just like talked a bunch about how like Katy Perry was awful and that she was like losing her way as a Christian. And like I had to stop watching when I started agreeing with them. Like that's not a good look to walk around like defending the KKK. Like, look guys, I know they made a lot of questionable decisions in the past. But have you heard their stance on Katy Perry? It's pretty good. It might change your mind. All right, you guys have been great. Thank you.